Hello and welcome back to our continuing adventures on the CyberDefenders platform. We are going through and doing the Mr.Gamer exercise today. So we are presented with a 14 gig download. Okay. So 14 gig file looks like a disk image. Maybe something created with like FTK Imager. And then we are given, what is it? 16 questions to run through. More than likely, this is going to end up being a two-parter. So let's see, what is the typical instructions scenario. This Linux image belongs to a user who likes to play games and communicate with friends. Is there something happening under the hood? Test drive your Linux forensics tools and identify anomalies. Tools: CyberChef, Decode, DB browser for SQL, Lite, and Unfurl. And for magnet forensics, an aspect there. So I've spun up the tabs for all the tools, preparation. So let's see. All right, so it downloaded gives us, they're called Lenovo Final, and we end up with a .info and then a .e01 to E08. And extract it out, looks like it takes up 14 gigs. Thereabouts exactly. All right, so let me transition. So this is FTK Imager. I have added the E01 source, assuming it went through and expanded further. And it's got the typical, so boot, CD-ROM, dev, etc, home, and then basically breaks down to Raphael, I'm assuming would be the pronunciation for that. But let's take a look. So question 1, I use print statements for my logging. What is the name of the utility/library the user was looking at exploits for? You know what? Let me take that up to 133. There, that looks a little bit better. Able to read it a little bit easier. Okay, so not entirely sure about the print statements, but if they're, I figure the first place I'm going to take a look at is going to be the users .bash_history file, just to see as to what the last items that have been recorded for what they were typing in. So we'll transition back over, and so that's what I've got pulled up here. So that would be, okay, an ext4 formatted partition, and home Raphael, and then inside there is the bash history. So it looks like they removed JPEG, they did update, upgrade, installed HTOP. Looks like they pulled down 0 tier. They did some pinging. We got open JDK11. We got some netcat usage. PowerCat. Oh, hello. So they cloned a GitHub repo for the Apache log4j remote code execution proof of concept. back to there. They played around with, so editor log4j.java. The other aspect I might go through and do is like try to pull their web history, but usually if I'm going to take a look to see what the last guy or what the activity actually was, hands-on keyboard, it's going to be bash history. We got Metasploit framework, and then looks like them kicking off. Oh, MSF Venom, so to change the payload, try to avoid. Yeah, let's so let's see, it is 5 characters. And log4j would fit inside that, so let's take a look. And log4j. Okay, we're on the right track. What is the version number of the operating system? Well, I mean, if I was in front of it, you can go through and do, what is it? It's an aspect from like uname. I don't suppose there's like a way to view additional information in regards to the image. So we need to find a version number. Is there just like a Linux file somewhere that would contain like system information? I mean, I guess worst case I could probably put it into autopsy to do an analysis. I think I'll fire that up and get that added in. So I'll have the direct stuff here and then I'll let autopsy do some of the work. So let me pause this. I'll be right back. Okay, so it looks like number, dot, number. So I've got autopsy spinning up still, but apparently inside of etc, there is an issue file that you could cat out if you had this, mounted on, say, a Linux system. But since FTKA Imager allows you to basically just take a look at the file as it's there, so it looks like this was an Ubuntu 21.10 box. So that matches. The question is, okay, we're still on the right track. Oh, and then we need the host name of said system. Which I believe we can take a look at the hosts file, which is just above here. So local, oh, here we go. rshell-lenovo. Thank God for host files, huh? Of course, it's again assuming we're on the right track. Okay, we're on the right track. A little blue birdie told me. So Twitter. What is one anime the user likes? I don't know if this is actually it, but oh, I have no I cannot explain it, but looking at that, that was the I don't know, it's kind of the mainstream answer. Just started watching it with daughter, so that is oh, that is interesting. Oh, so how would we go about pivoting to actually do the analysis as opposed to me just getting it right by a lucky guess? Oh God. Um, that is a good question. So they pulled down what hashes? Rick Astley, Neo. Okay, so it's not going to be as simple as taking a look at the videos directory and seeing, Attack on Titan episodes. I'm not really surprised by that, considering the fact that that would probably put them in hot water by making that stuff available. So, okay. Pictures. Oh, here's more additional aspect for Log4j, specifically on the Minecraft aspect. Looks like they were grabbing screenshots while they were. Yeah, looks like it. Marshall sec for what they pulled down there, but we don't really have. So we have copies of their emails. No reply at Bumble. So I don't suppose there would be anything like actually coming from Twitter or anything, right? Would we be so lucky? Well, we got the person's email. I don't suppose that's any of the questions. Guest Wi-Fi, apparently not. So let's do this. Rather than just keep wading through this, let me just copy and paste. Let me see if I can find anything in the email aspect. Mm. Gotta download it, of course. Alright, so how many times does Twitter show up in here? Decent amount. Looks like it all goes to like twitter.com/Bumble. Okay, looking inside the emails, and I realize, yes, it is not showing for you. Does Attack on Titan show up anywhere in this? No. Okay. Attack? No. Okay. Then no real time is lost. Well, we could try to do OSINT to search for the particular Gmail address that we've been able to ascertain and see if we can find the Twitter account to then pivot. Okay. It took a little bit of time. So we're still, so inside of, expand this out. So inside of /home/Raphael/Thunderbird, the VR VCX2QF.default-release, IMAP, mail, imap.google.com, and then the inbox file itself. Where did it go? So I went through, and what's not showing up is you do Control F for find, and there were much more hits for twitter.com. So I figured, okay, let's try anime. And apparently an email did come into this Raphael shell in regards to, from a Twitter account at Anime Shots, where it talks about anime, Attack on Titan. And I don't know if there's any more, if that's just basically the big thing that shakes through most of this. Yeah, that seems to be the big takeaway. Just because of the fact that, okay, it specifies Twitter and then anime, or favorite anime. So it's the strongest link that I've been able to find for my lucky guess in regards to what their favorite anime is in regards to all this. So we were able to find a link to express over just a lucky guess. Which then takes us into the matrix we go. What is the UUID for the attacker's Minecraft account? Okay. Yeah, there's a Minecraft folder. What do we have? Sir, user cache. How about that? It says user. So name and 30. Oh, here we go. UUID. Well, God, that was easy. Oh, cripe. Okay. Oh, I didn't transition back. Apologies. Okay, switched over. So inside the /home/Raphael, there's the .minecraft folder. And while I was just going through that looking, that's where I stumbled upon the user cache.json, which apparently does contain a UUID. Now, I'm assuming that's the appropriate UUID and it's not going to show up somewhere else. I guess I'll find out momentarily. It does look like it'll match. Yes. Okay, now we're looking for today's YouTube video is sponsored by. So we're looking for a VPN client. Two, four, six, 8 characters. I don't suppose it would actually be so simple as to show up inside of. Bash history. Well, maybe. I guess I'll have to try. So we are again back into /home/Raphael and looking at the .bash_history file. So near the top there is a section where it talks about 0 tier. Which I don't think it's as much recognition as like your Express VPN or what is it, Surf, right? Surf Shark, whatever. I know there's been a lot that's been um, tossed about in regards to those particular aspects on YouTube. So let me see as to whether or not if we're just gonna get a blind luck and if that's exactly what we're looking for. Or do I need to go and rip setnuts apart? No, okay. So .bash_history for the win yet again. Oh, okay. What was the user's first password? For the guest Wi-Fi. So what are we gonna have to extract something that would? Is there a file on Linux that would contain like the access list, like the lists of saved Wi-Fi creds and access points? Maybe I'm overthinking. Um, that I would definitely have to start digging back through again. So let's do this instead. I'm not opposed to sitting there trying to do the homework if need be, but let's go back to the email just to check, because I know depending on um, definition of, well, I mean, okay, you're not going to use the guest network at home. So I know a lot of times that you'll, like, okay, you go to a hotel or a convention center, they might give it to you written down in like a information pamphlet. Obviously, we don't have anything physical short of the disk image. So what if it was in an email? Oops. And we're just going to do a search for guest. Back to the inbox file. Okay. Wi-Fi network. Champlain guest. Guest account and Wi-Fi instructions. Again, back to that same aspect. RaphaelShell24@gmail.com. And then they give us the password 679670. And transition back over. It looks like it'll match. No, maybe not. Okay, so same exact area, just continuing to scroll further through. So there's another one that shows up. Again, for the Champlain guest and the Raphael Shell 24@gmail.com, but the password being 661776. Okay. Because this is, they want burst. So this is January 28th, 2022. And there's another one. January 25th now. 093483. Third time's the charm, right? I guess if I'd paid closer attention to the data as it showed. So, I mean, I think they all showed up with the same type of expiration. But as I go further down in the emails is where it actually hits. So I guess technically, and of course the find aspect isn't showing up in the screen capture, but it's only match whole word only, match case, or highlight all matches. There's no go backwards, so it's not like I could go all the way down to the bottom of the file and then have it work its way back. But yeah, and then basically where I'm pulling the dates are for the hits. We go up a little bit. Where'd I see it? Right here. The date field. And so January 25th is what we're looking for as the earliest or the first guest Wi-Fi. Which is good. Okay. Sadly, it seems like it's mostly just lucky guesses. Although, realistically, had I taken the time to properly go through and parse the, guest Wi-Fi passwords, would have been able to get it in one by paying closer attention to the date fields. Okay, so if a picture is worth 1,000 words, how many is a video worth? A user watched a video that premiered on December 11th, 2021. How many views did it have when they watched it on February 9th? Oh God. Um, so we'd have to figure it out, but Raphael was looking or had screenshots, right? And he had a YouTube video playing in the background. I don't know as to whether or not that's going to be the answer to our metaphorical questions, but so this would be February 9th, which does match the question due to the date. Screenshot from 2022-02-09. So February 9th, 2022. It looks like it's a CVE-2021-44228 log4j video. Demonstrating the exploit of log4j by an unpatched Minecraft server spawning a reverse shell. And the question is, how many views did it have at that particular time? So it looks like that's going to be down here, 265,355. Now the question is, does that change to... Oh, John Hammond's video. Okay. If you haven't looked at his YouTube comment or content, I would highly suggest it. Very good stuff. And he puts out, I think, on a semi-regular basis. Because he just covered something for another CTF that was out there, and I think near the end of it, he dropped out the aspect of Git leaker, I think is what it was. So basically a utility to go through and check your GitHub repos for like hard-coded creds and stuff like that, which I've been kind of looking for a solution for like easy wins. So it's just like winning. Anyways, so I think that's going to be it. So before I switch over to 65355, and I'm pulling that from what is showing in the... My mouse isn't being captured on this window. Excuse me. But it's just below where it says the CVE-2021-44228. And right above the cutoff portion of John Hammond's head. So let's go through to this and transition back, and fingers crossed. Ah. Okay, so let me take a look at some of the other pictures here. Because if we look at the very first one okay, and there's a difference. It looks like when he started watching it, it was 16:24 and 10 seconds. And then there was another time at 17:31, 17 seconds, 17:42 and 23 seconds. So this is the view count for would be 5 p.m. or the 1700 hours, both times in there. So let's go back to what would be 4:42 p.m. I'm assuming Raphael's local time. And that's actually a different number. That is 265342 according to the screenshot. And that's what they're looking for. The earlier screenshot. Yeah, it looks like the rest of the stuff was just him getting stuff set up. Oh, trying to go through to zero tier. So, okay, that is 8 questions answered in just over, well, okay, 34 minutes and still counting. I'm going to divide this up into a 2-parter. So basically to have a release on one Saturday and then part 2 to follow up the subsequent Saturday. So that has been the first half of Mr.Gamer on the CyberDefenders platform. And with all that being said, I will see everybody in the next video.